What up, what up? This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris, and I'm here with a very special guest, the amazing, the genius, the savant, super smart, best networker in the world, Jacob. Ain't gonna tell you how he got his middle name, Biz Morris.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. You're a real one. Thank you for staying true.
Of course, dog.
What's up?
What's up, man? I feel like this is like everyday talk right now.
This is gonna be fun.
I spend a lot of time with this person. Like, so people don't know this. You know, everybody has like their favorites on their phone contacts. Biz is one of my favorite. Like, if you're on that favorites list, that mean like this is like fam.
Well, even if we're not working, we're at least talking multiple times a day.
How you feeling today, man?
You know, I'm good.
How you feeling? Yeah.
We had our third baby like 12 weeks ago, and
12 weeks.
You can't complain about sleep. You know this, but you're about to have a third kid.
Yeah, I feel you.
And
pray for me, dog.
I will.
Okay.
No, it is so much fun, but it is.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I underestimated it for sure.
You work. I ain't gonna lie. Before the baby came, you were every time I'd ask you, but yeah, I mean, you were like, yeah, it's all good, and then.
Third kid came.
He was like, "Oh snap, yo!" So that's dope, man. For those of you who've been living under a rock, if you've been following Reach Records, 116, the Unashamed movement, I mean, from probably I wouldn't say from the beginning. You probably, if you've been living under the rock, you don't know who this person is. So this is, some people call him like the mayor of Reach Records.
Oh my gosh.
Which I feel like is kind of a definitely tongue-in-cheek way to say it, but in a way. Biz is like he's like the Secret Service agent, like for Reach Records. Like he has been tapped in with Ben and Lecrae from almost like day one. He is our head engineer. But you know what? You tell people what you do.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna blow a lot of smoke, and if you leave stuff out, I'm gonna just add to it. Real spill.
Nah, man. So I oversee all the studios, head engineer. Work really really close with this guy on just the quality control aspect, helping artists get the music turned in, mix. I would say like 99% of the stuff.
Yeah.
Some stuff gets outsourced and then it comes back. It's a whole nother thing.
Little jab right there.
Yeah.
Basically, okay, we're gonna get to that. Go keep going.
I don't know. I just say a Swiss Army knife. Just do whatever. If I need to sweep some floors, I'll sweep some floors.
I've seen you sweep floors. You're a good sweeping floor person or a sweeper, whatever.
Thank you for that. I'm gonna put that on my resume.
You're a good intern / exec.
No, you gotta do intern stuff. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, pretty much anything that helps the music get created and turned in.
Right. But, okay, I feel like you're leaving out a little bit.
Maybe.
So, he built the studios that we're sitting in. Like, sure. Biz designed the audio capabilities and, like, functionality of the studios.
Yeah.
He's built studios for, like, I mean...
I thought we were just saying what I do at Reach.
Okay, well, you built the Reach studio.
Yeah, I did.
He is also, I mean, I feel like Biz, even though he's audio and technical and engineer, he also wears like an A&R hat, and that a lot of the artist relations piece, when I need like to get a couple favors in, it's like I go through Biz because he's had some tapped in history with them. So I feel like you just wear a lot of hats, and I don't know if we could do what we do at Reach Records without you. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
You still could do a better job, but you know.
Keep going. Come on, keep going. Criticism's good. I mean,
you know, as men, you know, criticism is a form of endearment. You know?
Okay.
So I mean, you can shoot back if you want.
No.
But keep it.
You're
PG.
crushing it, bro.
Keep it culturally.
I couldn't do what I do without
too.
you.
Huh?
I couldn't do what I do without you.
Okay, thank you, dog. I love this guy. All right, so I feel like I know a little bit. I met Biz in 2012.
Nah, bro.
No, it was 2012. 2011. When
did we do Blacklight?
That was 2011.
Is that when it came out?
It was around that 2011.
I remember flying to Atlanta and going to your apartment.
It was my boy's apartment, but yes.
Whatever.
So I was working on Tedashi's album, and Joseph Palazzi set us up, and Tadashi comes to the studio, my boy's house. We worked on the beat, and
was this before Rehab?
After Rehab.
So I met you at Rehab season.
I didn't meet you at Rehab season.
Yeah, you came to the studio.
Oh, okay. Well, you were. I must have overlooked you. You know?
Yeah, it's fine. That's where your head is still. It's
That's
big.
cap.
It's
So
big.
I'm gonna tell this story, and then I think Biz, you should give a backstory on how you got to Reach. I'm gonna tell you
Go
how
ahead.
we first came. So I'm at my boy's house. We're making this record with Tadashi, and Biz is basically there with Tadashi, and I'm kind of like, generally when I meet people, I think I'm kind of like bright and like warm. Tadashi's, we're like, and Biz is kind of like, he's cordial, but he has like a certain like protective energy. And this is like, and mind you, you're just like, you were 10 years younger than you were now. In my head, I was thinking, yo, who's this like 21-year-old little kid, like kind of acting like kind of tough skinned? But I would say that the session went really smooth. He was very respectful, and he very much like was, in a way, you were there to preserve Tadashi's headspace.
Sure.
And I feel like you carry that where you go now.
Yeah.
But at the time, I was like, yo, why is he being so like guarded and protective of Tadashi's energy? So, but tell the people how you got to Reach, how you met Ben and Lecrae. Give us the full like backstory.
Yeah. Full backstory. I was in a youth group, 2003.
Dang.
Real Talk just came out.
Okay.
Lecrae came and performed at the church that I was at, youth group. That's how I first met Lecrae.
Okay.
Back when he was like selling CDs to make the money.
This is long jean short Lecrae.
I don't remember, long T.
And long jean.
Yeah, whatever
short.
it was.
The jean shorts was the move.
Yeah. I met him, but I also had a mutual friend that moved to Denton and got plugged in to their circle, their church circle.
Okay.
Dylan Chase.
Okay.
Yep. And me and Dylan did a lot of work, music work back then too.
What kind of work was that?
He did. I had a studio at my mom's house. So Dylan would come over to my mom's to come record. We work on music. But Dylan moved to Denton and got connected.
Gotcha.
And so I got reintroduced to them through Dylan, a couple years later.
Curious.
Yeah.
You had a studio in your mom's house, like just randomly, or you just?
Yeah. My mom was and was like super supportive of me when I was younger.
Shout out Biz mom.
Yeah, shout out mom.
The parents that support their kids in music. It's a real thing.
It's a big deal, bro.
We talked about that with RG on a segment before.
It's a big deal. I 100% wouldn't be.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a studio at my mom's house that my stepdad helped me build a booth and.
You was in there.
Yeah.
Dog.
Pro Tools HD rig. It was like.
Oh, bro, this makes perfect sense. I never knew this about you. I just feel like you just that's dope.
Yeah. So Dylan got connected with them, and then I got reconnected with them, and they would come over to my mom's house to come record. Tadashi especially. Show Baraka would come. Trip would come.
They didn't know how to record essentially.
They had an engineer that was in Dallas that they used for a long time, but then they had a studio too and didn't. But then they would still come.
Why were they coming to you when they had their own studio?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What do you think about what you were doing made them?
Comfortability, execution, speed.
Basically, you about that life.
About that life.
Yeah, I mean, my time with you and engineers, you have a very high standard for the engineer process. So, So
you gotta be good. You gotta be nice. You gotta be a safe place. I think I provided that. And me and Tadashi really clicked and hit it off. Where he would come, and this is right around the same time too, where they moved from Denton to Memphis. So Tadashi was, I don't think Sho was still. I don't remember, but Tadashi was still in Denton, so he would definitely come over to my mom's house to come record because he had nowhere else to go.
What songs from later releases did you record
at my mom's house?
Yeah,
the one song that I go hard.
Whoa, I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until my mom was. I remember when she was moving a couple years ago. I got a hard drive from her. When I opened it up, Go Hard Session was on there.
That's amazing.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
You still have the hard.
I still have the hard drive. I'll sell it right now if you want to.
Were you in the background vocals? That's what I know.
I am on some background vocals.
Did you get to work for hire? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, we didn't do that back then.
So hold on, you recorded "Go Hard" at your mom's crib with Tadashi. One of his biggest songs at the time. That's legendary. Yeah. Like, and how old were you at the time?
I don't remember. 15, maybe 16.
This is gold. I had no idea. This is.
But fast forward to
so
I was in high school. I knew that I wanted to do music, so I went to Conservatory of Recording Arts in Phoenix. Okay. But I didn't think I thought I was gonna go movie, scoring side. I didn't think I was gonna continue to do like hip hop music. Okay. I graduated from there, but I went back to Dallas because this is right around the time the guys were just blowing up. and I reconnected with Tadashi. I didn't reconnect; we were always in touch, but and I just stayed doing it with him, and I would fly back and forth from Atlanta, and just built a good relationship with all the guys. And
but were you like engineering at the time? You weren't mixing yet, were you?
I wasn't mixing; I was only engineering. They would have a guy named Carlton Lynn. You know Carlton?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carlton Lynn is who they use when they moved to Atlanta, and Carlton's like legendary.
Sure. Shout out Carlton. He makes some joints for me.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite engineers ever. So when I moved, so I would fly back and forth, work on records. But then I was getting married in 2013. Well, 2012 I knew I was getting married, but 2013, I decided to move here full time. And
you were hired as an engineer.
I was hired as an engineer rather than a contract.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
At the time, did they have an engineer here?
No, it was just Joseph.
Joseph would engineer. Oh,
Joseph would engineer, but I mean, I would be here for like months at a time.
Oh, you were.
But I knew that there's no way I could sustain that.
Gotcha.
Like,
yeah.
Anytime there was like, I mean, gravity we did when we were here, but like rehab.
Yeah. But did you do like you were like.
I was also DJing.
To talk to us about like that, you were DJing.
So when I moved back to Dallas from Phoenix after school, I said, "Oh, I could engineer it, or I can get a part-time job in engineering and like make this thing work." But Tadashi was like, "Yo, I need a DJ," and I was like, "I don't know how to DJ," but he wanted a friend on the road too, so I was like, "All right." I think my mom helped me buy turntables,
and you just figured it out. Bro, it's tech though.
Press play some music, build out a show, but you gotta like arrange the show, build it out. There's a lot to it other than just press play, but so I would travel with Tadashi everywhere, and then Trip. I would travel with Trip,
right?
And then I would fill in dates with Lecrae.
It's like 2012, 2013.
Yeah, I didn't stop. I mean, this is 2010.
Word, that's
2009, 2010.
You've been like tapped in with.
Yeah.
And did you know then that you wanted to be more than a DJ and engineer?
I knew like in middle school that I knew I wanted to engineer and do this.
Okay.
Like, this is my end goal.
To be
an engineer. I didn't know if I was gonna be a reach. I didn't.
Gotcha.
But I knew that I was gonna be doing music.
That's and mixing engineering.
And behind the scenes, I didn't want to be I don't want to be on stage. I want to be helping artists get to.
Guess what? You on the scene now, my dude.
Oh, wow.
You're on the scene now.
No, there's a lot. It interests me because there's a lot behind the scenes that happens that a lot of people don't know about.
Sure.
That the artists are successful because of.
Oh yeah, I feel like you definitely have your hands in a lot of things.
I'm not just saying me. I'm saying roles. Like there's A&Rs,
sure.
There's managers, there's engineers. There's a lot that makes an artist successful. That's what I was interested in.
You didn't want to be on the stage and the lights, but I feel like all that history of you like engineering, DJing, and then you're on the road with these guys for months at a time. I feel like it just primed the potential in you to kind of be where you are now.
Sure.
I didn't know that it's dope. Shout out to all the parents and the kids watching. Like knowing what you want to do at like 15 is pretty like amazing.
Oh yeah, no, I was probably younger than that for sure. I knew that. I mean, my mom one summer made me get a warehouse job, and that lasted 2 weeks, and that's the only job. Like I knew that this was it. I mean, I was like doing engineering stuff for TD Jakes when I was like 14.
Did you engineer his
No, I did not. Chill.
I mean,
but I would have.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, there may or may not be a TD Jakes album out there that is for encouraging the marriage ministries, and it's amazing. All right, we'll have to probably hit it right there.
Oh my goodness.
Shout out Jacob Biz Morris, who I won't tell you how he got his middle name. We'll keep the conversation going and talk a little bit about some of the things you've touched at Reach, which you're mixing and footprint, things that you've put your hands to. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris. This is my co-host for today.
Biz.
Come on, man. What's up?
Sorry.
Jacob? Yeah, I know. Biz is so chill. But yeah, we're going to be right back after this little break. Tap in soon. Welcome back. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio. I'm your host, Ace Harris, and I'm chilling with my good friend, my homie, Jacob Biz Morris.
What up?
He won't say it, but one of the dopest mixing engineers in the business, audio genius. And we were just kind of, I love when we do these, when I hear things about people that I didn't know, and I talk to you every day. So
You had no idea.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew you was like tapped in, and like, I didn't know that some of like your footprint on some of the classic records that reached, like you recorded in your mom's house. That's phenomenal. And like a teenager too. Because you're actually younger than me, but you've been at Reach for like 12 years. You know what I'm saying? So speaking of like, I wanna have you tell people, like, talk about some of your like most like important projects you've been a part of. How did you get to, engineering to mixing? Like, what did that?
Sure.
And tell me, and then after mixing, what projects that you put your hands to that were like amazing and kind of changed your trajectory as a mixing engineer? I know it's a lot, but yeah,
That's a lot. So if I forget something, just bring it up.
I got you.
I mean, I've worked. I would say. I mean, obviously, Reach is like responsible. Like,
Sure.
Success of Reach is why I'm successful, right?
Yeah.
Some of the projects. I mean, man, I remember coming to Atlanta and like working on projects for weeks and not sleeping, or like sleeping in the studio. Like we worked on Rehab.
How was that?
It was great. Rehab with Overdose was crazy. I don't think anyone knows this. You did work on that.
I got one on Overdose.
But the record got finished. I think it got put out and it did good, so they wanted to do Overdose.
Sure.
We had like 7 days.
7 days?
Yeah, it was like, so we did that record in like 7 days. Me and Joseph slept in the studio for 7 days. I remember like going to the bathroom and like washing like this is
The washcloth?
yeah,
Like,
we didn't get it. We didn't book a hotel. I mean, Joseph lived here, but he stayed. We used the foam as pillow. Like we were locked in. I think that was probably like a
and what role were you playing in that?
engineer. Like I mean, same thing I do now. Like engineer. I didn't mix it. Carlton mixed it. So he would come in. We would work during the day. He would mix at night, or vice versa. Like he would just be in the mix too.
Well, were you dealing with like producers and stems and files?
Yeah.
Talk to us about that process. Like,
No, yeah. It's still like just recently within the past couple years, I would say probably when you came on scene, producers didn't send arranged files.
engineer rant, y'all.
And they still
coming
don't.
up.
So that would be our job, is to like take it and arrange the songs.
So when so you're okay. So this is
Joseph is a producer, by the way. So
yeah, well, sure.
a lot easier, but yeah.
So this is like Overdose era.
Like-
y'all 7 days in, people sending files for the songs, and the beat stems don't match the song at all.
No, it's like 4-bar loops, bro.
Oh,
And we would create the songs.
that's crazy.
Yes. Or like verses, we would just like the B.O.B. joint that Lecrae did.
Yeah.
That if you go listen to that, that's 10 bars. He sent like a 24-bar verse, and I cut it down to 10 bars. Not 12, not 8.
Why
10.
did you cut it down?
Because it did what he was saying was wild. Like it
wasn't like appropriate for the song.
no.
Okay, gotcha.
But I was sending
Segue.
it back to him, but just if it felt okay. But yeah, that was, I was in Studio B at the old spot editing it. Yeah, so I think putting in the work
Right.
definitely paid off.
So y'all were, and at that point, when did it become like you evolving from like you basically were like mix prepping essentially.
I was for like 5 years. I would be like, no, that's not true. For a couple years for sure, I would be the mixing, and then Carlton would come in and finish him, and yeah, I would sit under him. I mean, I sat under Carlton for for like 5 years probably.
I think that's important. Like as a mixing engineer, like, do you feel like people now that have that aspiration are open to like sitting under people that long?
No.
And why was it helpful for your career as like a mixing engineer? Because you didn't know what you know now then.
No.
Like,
I think it's important to sit under someone. It was definitely, for me at the time, is one, you get to learn from legends,
right,
who have Grammys, platinum plaques.
Talk. Yeah.
So you learn what they do. You learn the organization. You learn the communication to the labels, to the, like when you're dealing with like record labels and turn-in assets and
sure,
like
deliverables.
yeah, like these random mixers who think that they're amazing, but they can't turn in stems. They can't communicate. They don't know how to invoice. They don't know how to do all this stuff. So sitting under someone who organized, who knows how to invoice, who has the relationships, who learns how to turn in assets that the label needs.
Right.
That's really important, because you can lose a client if you don't do something.
That's super dope. So 5 years with Carlton, you feel like really shaped you to.
No, it did shape me. I tell him that often.
I think that's.
He was moving. He was so sad, but he was moving to Japan.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much like passing the torch.
He was setting you up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And how'd you feel at the time? Were you like, man, this is great? I'm ready to, like, I was ready for my shot. Okay.
Intimidated, but I definitely was ready because I was doing it already. But it's just the guy, your mentor, just is leaving.
Yeah.
So you're like,
what album did you fully mix yourself? Where it was like, yo, Jacob Biz Morris. Like Carlton's gone. I've been sitting at Reach for 5 years doing stems with Joseph.
I think it was
and I like finally put my footprint on the sound.
Rise probably.
Rise.
Carlton did definitely come in at the very end. That was his last
okay.
Just to, like, green light it, okay it, but that was like, no, it was me, Trip, Gavi, locked in.
What is that? When you say locked in, what was that process?
Like no one from the label heard things until stuff was done.
Man, Ben Wash, you hear that?
It's true. Nah, Ben.
I would love to do that again one day.
Yeah,
I think we should do a secret project, man. Me, you, and a.
Let's do it.
Just. That means no pictures to D, no
cooks
DS,
in the
no
kitchen.
digital.
No, Nanto is like it's
sorry,
it's
D.
done.
She's like,
D's like, oh no. No. Nanto is like ready to go.
So when you say on the mixing process for Rise, what did that look like? What did that process look and feel like for you as like you were kind of like stepping into your like full engineer, like position. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Is
it blurry or were you just kind of going in?
It's definitely blurry. But I was ready because Carlton.
And Gavi's pretty tough sonically.
Yes.
He's a very
so is Trip.
Oh yeah, yes.
Trip.
So you weren't
both of those.
It wasn't like a hands off.
But Trip's a good leader. So he led that very well.
Gotcha.
So you have some artists who are just like laid back and like whatever the producer wants or whatever A&R wants, and you have some artists that are like, no, this is what I want.
Right.
I'm gonna tell everyone in a loving way.
And how did it feel after that, like that project? And tell me what other projects you had.
Yeah. So that one was good. I don't know the order. I'm terrible with time, but all Tadashi's it wasn't Blacklight. It was whatever he released.
Below Paradise.
Below Paradise.
Okay.
Lecrae's.
Anomaly. Who mixed Anomaly?
Me and Carlton.
Yeah.
I did all the engineering on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hard. That intro, the vocals on the intro was phenomenal.
Yeah, all the post stuff too, like Dum Dum, Robot. Like I did Dum Dum post production on an airplane coming back from Atlanta to Dallas. We came here, recorded it, and I was on the plane. Tasha was next to me. I was doing that Dum Dum, like pitching it on an airplane.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
You
I'm not a robot.
That.
I did that too. My mom's.
Hold on. So
couch.
The Dum Dum didn't sound. It wasn't doing that before you touched it.
Yeah.
Okay. I see, man. That's a whole. We could talk hours offline about that.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother conversation about the engineers being in the creative process at times, and
I feel like that went away for a season. It is coming back, but it definitely.
It's a weird. We've disagreed on a few things at times, like what is engineering, what is producing, what is A&Ring, what's writing, it sometimes gets blurry.
That's why I like small teams.
I feel you. Yeah, small teams keep it tight. You know what I'm saying? Small teams. So let's talk about stuff you've worked on outside of Reach.
Oh.
That was like, as a mixing engineer, I feel like your work here kind of like sparked people to be like, yo, I like this. Who mixed this?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about those phone calls you started getting off of you, like mixing.
Yeah, man, it's so hard. That's really blurry. I'm really bad with like credits and like.
Yeah. But things that you even, I know like even like a lot, you had a lot of Capital CMG clients and stuff like that.
Regular labels would call Capital stuff, Sony. So bad with credits, bro.
No, you're good. So I feel like you
might know more than I do, actually.
I mean, you've got like a Grammy. Don't you have like a Grammy or something?
Yeah.
Like you got some
Grammy platinum stuff, platinum plaques.
Yeah. So I feel like I say this, and I've said it before. Like you're probably one of the most like relational people I've ever met.
Sure.
Like I don't know how you keep up with everybody.
I like people, man. I feel like you had to. I don't think it's forced. I don't force anything.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think this is what I sure, I'm skilled, and I do think like mixes are good. But at the end of the day, I think it's my love for people, and I'll get out of the way so that they get what they need.
Sure.
Does that make sense? So like,
yeah, I think that shines through. I mean, speaking of like, obviously our ethos, man, here at 116 Life, faith, music, culture, I feel like you can't do those things well if you don't have a sincere heart for people.
Yeah.
And I mean, seeing you around as you network, you're always like, let's do dinners with people and bring the artists together.
Well, I don't think that if you don't care for people, it definitely comes through. If you only care about the paycheck,
right,
it comes through. If you only care about the credit, it's gonna come through. You're gonna lose friends. You're gonna lose work. You're gonna lose money. You're gonna lose it all because you're the motive. Like you only care about your success.
For sure, yeah.
I think, and that comes through. I think there's sometimes where labels like there's a lot of things I do, and I don't know this artist. The label just sends me the work.
Sure.
And I got to do it. And so there's part of that where it's just that's a paycheck.
Sure.
But then a lot of it, there's artists who I work with for like
years.
Can
you talk to a time in sorry, opinions, but a time where you felt like your relationship skills with an artist on a project or something kind of saved a project?
Oh.
Where it was like if you hadn't made that call or that touch point, this thing would have like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think I may have one too, but yeah, I just wanted to. I was thinking.
Okay, so because I toured for a long time.
Yeah.
And so we got to tour with a lot of bands, a lot of like people. So Hillsong was one of them.
Okay.
Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I know pieces of it, but tell the whole story.
Yeah. So like KB's Ocean.
Got it.
Our label was trying to reach out to their like if it was going around in circles, no one could close the deal. So I just called Hillsong. My connects at Hillsong, my friends at Hillsong, and the deal got closed up that day with them signing off.
When you say deal got closed, what deal happened?
Were trying because we were trying to use Oceans and sample Oceans.
The biggest Christian song at the time, the biggest Christian song in the world at the time.
And they couldn't. No one would greenlight it, and ours weren't calling back. Any connects that KB had or the label had, no one would respond. So I just called Luke, and he made it happen.
How did you develop a relationship with him?
Because he was or is the like head touring manager for Hillsong United.
Oh, okay.
But they're like us, like Swiss Army knives. Like just because he's on the road tour, like managing the tours, he's also part of the label conversations.
Sure.
He knows who to call at the A&R. He knows like he can sign off on stuff. And so because of my touring for years with them, Trip and Hillsong United toured, and I was just there with Trip.
Why were you with Trip?
DJing. Yep.
This is like coming full circle.
Yeah, DJing for Trip. We just became really, really tight. And so that was 100% the reason why.
So when you made that call, what happened after that?
The song came out.
That's I mean, I feel like there's probably like hundreds of stories of things I've seen. I'm not drawing a blank, but I've seen how your relational equity has been a value add for the artist, for the label. And I think it's just a reflection of your heart for people. I mean, faith, music, culture, like we can't do, honestly, in this music business, especially here, we can't do what we do unless you actually have a genuine relationship with people.
You got to.
It would just be like, it wouldn't even be fun, honestly.
Yeah.
And then like, it just wouldn't feel like real friendship and real trust, you know what I'm saying? So speaking of trust, man, you've built an amazing, pedigree here. You and Lecrae, you and Ben, they've trusted you relationally with that friendship. But I felt like it's turned into something even bigger and better as a business model that y'all have together, which I'd love to kind of get into in the next segment. But shout out you, man. Just the backstory and your come up, man, is just really phenomenal. So we're going to get back into it after this break. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris. I'm here with the legendary Jacob Biz Morris in the building.
What up?
Talking about all things audio, music, relationships, backstory, and we're going to get into some things he's doing now in a little bit. Stay tuned. Welcome back. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio on Sirius Channel 154. I'm your co-host today, Ace Harris, with my man. No, this is you co-hosting, bro.
Oh,
I mean, look,
You said I'm co-hosting.
you are co-hosting.
You co-host.
We host together.
I like
saying,
that.
Can we do fist bump?
There you go.
All right, never
Oh
mind.
my goodness, y'all see the dynamic here is real.
Look, I tell you, man, insults are a form of endearment. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Nah, but talking about your relationships, man, like, bro, like, you have a resume of mixing and touching things that you be kind of like humble about it, which is great. Shout out to all the fake humble Christians in the building.
Oh my gosh.
I feel y'all, but man, sometimes you gotta. I mean, come on, Justin Bieber, you've worked with, Tori Kelly, you built her home studio.
Yeah.
But on the mixing side, you have mixed one of the biggest songs in the world right now.
Yeah.
Talk about David Kushner, like touching that song. Talk about the song and why you launching your new company, Mix, is important for artists in general to have like quality mixing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, let me talk about mixed.
Yeah. Let's talk about like what.
I'll tell you. We start with mix, and then I can say what
yeah.
we've done. Yeah. So I'll do a quick backstory. But 2018, I started mixed, and the goal was to provide quality, affordable mixes for independent artists. Because at that time, my mixing was taken off, and I worked with a lot of label artists. But that means I got so busy, or my friends who were independent couldn't afford what I was doing, and so I was trying to figure out a way to build this gap that independent artists could afford quality mixes at label quality.
Yeah.
But also quick turnarounds, everything that they wanted. Everyone was trying to release it fast. So I decided that I'm gonna build mixed.
Right.
Well, it was gonna be an automated process, but mix was starting, but my mixing was taking off. So it's really hard to focus on stuff. So I kind of we kind of put it on the back burner, but last year we decided to pick it back up.
Okay.
Full support of Ben and Lecrae.
Right.
They loved it. So yeah, last year was the first relaunch of it, where it's still affordable, quick turnaround, quality for independent artists, but it's me and a team mixing stuff. So that we're just focused on building a team that could handle the incoming mixes and making sure that the quality is top notch. But also, I really wanted to focus on making sure that the communication to the artist wasn't lacking anything that I wouldn't. I want to make sure that my love for people, my love to serve people, came through on that side.
That's amazing, bro. I feel like, I mean, you know, we're all around a lot of independent artists.
Yes.
I mean, I think I was playing you a song today, actually off my phone, that's actually released and on Spotify. This artist shall remain nameless. And the first thing, which you got the golden ears. My ears are kind of golden at times. You know what I mean?
But you're getting up there in age, so it's going out, but it's fine.
All right, we'll talk about that after the show. But your first thing you said was, "Oh, her flow. This person's flow is dope," but the mixing is bad. You can hear it from the phone. Tell me, like, why is it important to have Mixed as a mixing platform for all artists?
Well, I think the longevity of a song, it's cool to like, especially we went through that SoundCloud era where everyone was trying to make bad mixes, and even through that time, we were getting a lot of mixed notes to go back and make them sound bad. But the problem is those songs the longevity of those songs is not there. The songs are gonna die off. So I think a good mix makes a record last longer.
That's facts.
Get you played and placed around other songs that sound quality,
right?
Which is a big deal for playlisting,
right?
Just because you think you're dope, if you sound bad, you're probably not gonna get playlisted next to these people who are really dope. So mix definitely. I wanted that to be a spot for artists to get quality mixes.
So when you say quality, how soon? Like, let's say you listen to a song. How soon do you know, like this ain't it from an audio standpoint?
Like on Spotify?
Yeah.
15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah. You can tell especially if you listen to a song that's mixed really well before.
Yeah. I feel like that's why I feel like mixed is like super dope, because I mean, it is, especially me on the A&R side, man, like, 100,000 songs are uploaded every day.
Isn't that crazy?
100,000 songs.
Isn't that crazy?
It makes, even as working at Reach, it's like, we're trying to make great music that resonates with people, that, obviously points to the Lord and impacts, but we care. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, and I feel like
But I think more artists than we think also care. Like
you feel like more artists think that they care as well.
care. They just don't know that the resources are there, or know that there's an affordable option out there.
That's true.
You know, I think they think because they don't have label backing, they can't afford a quality mix, and that's just not true.
So I feel like if more artists just lean into the idea of, make a good song. That's facts.
There's artists who will pay bread for production, but they don't have bread to get it mixed.
How does that make you feel as like a mixing?
It makes me feel like they're wasting their money. Like, you should just go do a piano track with some vocals and get it mixed. I feel like it would be better off than having an 808 that sounds lackluster.
I feel that, man. Like, in terms of the artist, talk about like the process too, like mixed as a solution versus like, because somebody may be like, man, I'm just gonna go get my friend and pay him a little something.
Mm-hmm.
And,
sometimes it works.
but what is it about?
Yeah.
Even your background as a mixing engineer,
Yeah.
as an audio engineer, what is it about, what I'm saying, your expertise that's transferable to make this doper for them?
Yeah, I'm taking like 15 years of history and really spending time on making sure my team is on point. They're really good, that they can handle anything and make it really dope. But just the way that we built Mixed as a platform,
right,
where you can buy a mix for $500, log in, upload your files, we mix it, we upload you the mix, and you can do time-stamped revision notes.
That's fire.
And so the communication aspect back and forth is really seamless, to making it really easy for an artist to get a mix back, and quick turnarounds.
Yeah, I feel like
that's the name of the game.
For sure. You can't be sending a mix for no 2 weeks. It's
Nope.
like those days are over.
The only time a mix takes 2 weeks is when the artist doesn't respond. Normally we can get a mix out, I don't know, what do you say? 24 hours, 48 hours?
I feel like it's so unheard of. Like, that's so counter to what it was like 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But it speaks to the pace of way we're consuming music, we're uploading music, and we're and also how fast we're making music too.
Yeah.
I mean, we're making songs like in a day.
And we also, a lot of times artists don't get stems from producers, so they do a 2-track mix.
Yeah.
So then I also, which is not normal, is I just have a cheaper rate for a 2-track mix, where they don't have to upload stems. They can upload the 2-track with vocals, and we'll mix that as well.
Do you feel like stems is preferred though to get the?
I'm down for whatever the artist
so
can get.
I mean, you've mixed like literally one of the biggest. It's kind of like crazy that you mixed one of the biggest songs in the world right now. It's not even made from this building, but it's like David Cushing. Talk to us about how that song came about.
Yeah,
and like
so his manager started following me like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. Reached out for another artist, and we just built a good relationship where he probably I don't know, 6 months ago sent a song in for mastering, and David's really he likes the team that he works with, so it was a spec master. Like, it may work, it may not.
Yeah.
And he loved it, and so the manager Brent said, "Well, you want to try to mix this record?" And yeah, the team crushed it. We mixed it. David loved it. I think we did a ton of revisions, but it was more of like he recut vocals. I was having a baby at the time, so it was like going back and forth with the team of making sure that David was happy, and it was.
How
awesome.
I have a question. How did the manager find you, and what was it about? Yeah,
the song's called Daylight. The manager. Yeah, I think he was in the Capital Network probably. I don't really know how he found me, but
yeah,
he found me.
He found you through
something that work
your
that
work.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
that's just a bar. I think people need to just your work.
The quality of the work matters for sure.
For sure, it your
stands name out. Goes on it. I know that my name is attached to everything that goes out, and that's a big deal.
How does it feel for Mix to be part of like?
Yeah.
Have mixed one of the most viral songs in the world. Right
I just found out that was number 2 viral on TikTok. That's the number 2 TikTok song. That's crazy.
How does that? But it's even like Mixed as a company, you and your team. Like,
man, it's success. Like, I mean, it makes me really proud of the team. It's Yeah, I don't know. It's really good.
I think what's also dope is that
it shows what we're doing is really good.
No, and like any artist, and any artist who like has like a decent budget can like literally.
And David like tweeted that, and we got clients from him shouting us out that we are an option out there that's affordable, that provided a quality song that's, I think right now it's like number 7 on top global on Spotify.
It's amazing. What do you feel like is the future like of? I mean, obviously, you engineering. What's the future of like mixing and audio, and how you feel like mixed is like helping to drive where the music is going? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't know. You're an A&R, so you could probably speak into this too. I think as much as people don't care about mixing, there's a whole nother side that the artists who are winning right now, they're getting their stuff mixed. You look at Forrest Frank. He's releasing songs all the time. He's getting every record mixed and mastered. There's a lot of artists out there who actually care about quality sound. I don't think it's going away.
No, I think
it's actually coming back full circle. I think we went through a season where no one cared, but I think it's actually coming right back.
I think also too, to kind of piggyback off that, with 100,000 songs being uploaded, I feel like you have to have your stuff sounding right.
How do you stand through? Like how do you cut through?
Like you gotta have that like chef's kiss, like that quality touch. And I think, I mean, your song gotta be good. We're not gonna.
No, the song has to be, and that's the thing.
Great.
Daylight,
great.
Daylight was a great song.
Right.
Before it, it was on TikTok for like a year, I think. Then they got it produced. Then they sent it in for mix master. We mixed, mastered, and did the Dolby Atmos.
You mastered? Oh wow.
So it's like it was already a great song that we just got to help elevate this.
Yeah, elevate. Yeah, I feel like you got it. Like if stuff's gonna get overlooked, like nobody like 100,000 songs a day.
You got to cut through. There's
so
many things.
And
it's
also
a good song. Has to be mixed and mastered really great.
And I feel like this is like where my A&R brain goes. Even like intersecting with like digital marketing, like people are on their phones, we're scrolling, we're looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, visually engaging content, but I feel like the audio complements that content so well, where it's like it sounding good helps that impact with the end user, and I think artists can probably just lean into a little bit how. When people are scrolling, not just what they're looking at, but what they're listening to. Yeah. And how that listening affects the overall consumption of a song. And so
I think a thing too that I try to push on artists is they're like, why do I need my stuff mixed? Because you can get a different sound than you have in your head. And you may get a mix back and you're like, oh, I didn't know my vocals could sound like that. I didn't know that the 808 could hit like that.
That's true.
I didn't know that the drums could feel like this. I didn't know the emotion of the song can be like this. And it's because you pass it on to someone else.
No, for sure. I mean, as a producer, you know what I'm saying? I know when I got to Reach, I had some things my ear was, I mean, I feel like I've always had a solid ear, but I will say sitting in with you on mixes, specifically on the stuff that I actually produced, I heard my production better based on how you mixed. Yeah. To where I was like, because mixing enhances what's there, it can't cover up what's bad that's there. And I used to be like swapping out kicks and 808s in the last stage. Yep. Talk to us a little bit about how like, the input process of recording and the details make the mix either really good or really bad.
Yeah, I think it's all what you want the outcome to be for sure. There's some people that want more of a like dirty mix.
Yeah, that's about
Or so they just record in the bedroom. But I think it all depends on what you want. But I think if you want a really, really good mix, then you need to have a really good recording. I think a lot of times we see people want us to mix vocals a certain way, and it's just not possible because your mic doesn't have that capability of getting those frequencies to us. So I think I think there's a lot of levels to getting a good quality sound, but I think mixing could fix a lot of issues that you have in your home recording setup.
Yeah, I've seen y'all work miracles on.
Yeah.
So some I ain't gonna say what songs.
Go ahead. Which one?
Okay. Can we do this? Okay, let's talk about real quick because we ain't got no time.
Okay.
John Legend, Drown.
Oh man.
The vocals that we got and the vocals that hit the market.
That's another one. 30 seconds. We're working on this Drown song.
Yeah.
Right. You remember we got a call from LA, and they said, "How did y'all get Lecrae's vocals like this?" And I was like, "I just mixed them." And then what happened? Then we got the files, and we ended up mixing the whole song. And it showed that even you think the top people can't get the sound that they want, but we can.
Real quick, another one. This is just happens all the time, and we'll be out of here in a second.
Okay.
But I gotta say, Lecrae's "Your Power,"
Okay.
amazing song. Shout out Tasha Cobbs, she crushed it. But as much as she crushed it, the mixing process really enhanced that record in a way where I feel like what she was saying was conveyed. And this is not, sometimes the input, sometimes first of all,
gotta work with what
people
you
are
have.
on tours, they got schedules.
Yep.
I mean, you got to be working with bigger artists.
Sometimes there's songs that record in the back of a tour bus. You still got to make that sound good.
And I felt like, we got sometimes audio wise, we were like,
No.
but the mixing process, it's like,
you have to make it. I
don't want to say it saved the song, but it wouldn't have sounded the way it sounds now unless the right people touched it. So
thank you, man.
Shout out you, shout out your team, shout out Mixed,
man.
And everybody.
Getmixed.com.
So can you actually spell it out so people can
GETMXD.com.
And what about on the socials and everything?
GETMXD.co.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Soon, no CO.
Yeah, Biz, man, it's been great
Thanks
hanging out with you, man. We'll just stay tapped in as brothers. But yeah, this was super fun, man.
Thank you, man.
We're gonna have you back again. This is the 116 Life on Holy Culture Radio, Sirius Channel 154. I'm your host, Ace Harris. We out. Getmixed.com. See y'all later.
Peace.